Welcome back to the Balanced Diet of Teletainment, the Good Morning in Nigeria show. And of course, after Papa Jojo, we get a very, very casual guest in the house. And now, of course, we know say election season don't they build up. The atmosphere is very thick. You can almost cut it with a knife. That's what we body talk. And none of the aspirants what we get will be bigger than what we will get in the studio right now. A very, very young man who, that if you follow him profile, an activist, educationist, now person where they very, very outspoken, where people don't hear several times. And for some of the things when he don't talk, some people I don't open, they're very, very surprised. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to make you join us. Welcome, Mr. OMOYELE SOWORE in our studios. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody from Nigeria and from inside the studio. How not be?
Yeah, we did pageant. We just did it.
Yes.
Now let's talk about your interest in the presidential race come 2019. You're a person where we never see in the political terrain, and why you decide now to come into politics?
No, because before now, I did do other things in the in the political activism terrain. We do fight for human rights, environment. I don't do media. I try through Sahara reporters. But can't discover say, all of the things we do over these years, no fit change things as fast as we want, except we put our leg, come on trouser, put our leg for another trouser with people we need to change the country. And that make me decide, say, this time around, though, we don't tire for the system, especially for 58 years where they rule by the same set of people, where they recycle themselves, and some of them have come old past Nigeria. Nigeria, we get a population of 70%, will be young people. So time don't reach. Maybe we just enter the system, chase out all these people, we don't make our system they work, put our people there, we get capacity, we get competence, and we can make the country go to the next level we're supposed to be, because Nigeria just lag behind for too long. So that's the reason why I do be that. And I get many other reasons which should say, as I look myself, look at the people where they run the country, I know inside me, say I feel run this country better past several of them. In fact, for my lifetime where I done day active, day old, the sittings, I know say I've be president better past many people who are president of this country.
In other words, you're more competent than a lot of them. Now, speaking about competence, yes, and we're speaking about the human rights where you talk, one of the things where you don't do over time. For the country, if you look at statistics, we have at least 6 children where they die every day from malnutrition. We have a lot of women and children who are very, very vulnerable and who have been violated. Within you in your capacity, if you do, in terms of reducing that statistics to the barest minimum?
Well, maybe we'll separate them. The people who die of malnutrition, now to make sure say we get food sufficiency for the country where children will feed they eat, or children will die of diseases before they even reach a certain age. Now to make sure say we get healthcare system we go day from when they inside their mama's stomach until when they born them and after them born them. Now so they take care of children in other parts of the world. But for this country where we day, for women to even find somewhere to born, now wahala. So most women they die. Every statistic where they do has to do with children mortality rate, antenatal, postnatal, mortality rate. Now Nigeria get the worst all over the world. I mean, now because leaders for this country no care, hospitals no day for where people feel born their children. We will not get food sufficiency for children. We know they feed our children for school. When we do now propaganda, we take do if you give children dodo for this country now, transparent dodo, you're going to see the dodo on the other side, because we don't get any system where we cater for our people. Our people, leaders waiting for this country, they take care of themselves. Even our president, as they claim, say the man poor, rich, and children don't they go to school for Nigeria.
Well, speaking about the system where they talk of, we need to hear how, like if they talk of the healthcare system, how you go take improve them. No. If they talk about the food security, like you mentioned, yes, we need realistic plans where if we hear them, we'll not say, okay, we'll not say you're not just giving us generic answers. You're being specific in your plan in making sure that the country move forward. So for food security, for example, how you go fit to them?
Yes. Food security, we say, when I've been traveling, and I like to give an example because I travel around Nigeria, I go between Yola and Jalingo, discover land there, left, right, and center. But for the whole trip, it take us about 4 hours. We only see one plow, where they plow the land, and a cow see they drag them. So for you to plow that land at this stage for 2018, we're supposed to get tractors left, right, and center for that side where they plow land, where they grow, and we will grow. Because for this country, nowhere where you even throw something, you throw something anywhere, it will grow. But we know they do that. For example, you go see governors, they will get convoy of almost 30 cars. All of them, Jeep, you know, SUVs, especially the Prado type, where they cost money. We're not supposed to get governor, we get past 2 cars, maximum. All those rest of the Jeep, a tractor, they're supposed to be. Where go they work for the land? I can't tell you, but after that one, the biggest problem we get in the agricultural sector now post-harvest loss. So most people, they will even grow crops. But by the time they grow and finish, when the thing mature, to carry and go market now, because road not there. You know, to carry and go, after they go market, if they don't fit sell them, they don't fit store them because we don't get silos. We don't get refrigerators. We don't get those things where they make other countries this food sufficient. You know, they even go back, come discover, say, most people will get 10 acres of land, only one where they feel grow because government not they support them. They don't fit get loans where they feel take start their business, their farming. And like I said, they don't get processing opportunities. Many things they're wrong with the way they practice agriculture. You know, we even call them saying subsistence agriculture. For example, when they talk about herdsmen, for example, I stopped for that road one day. I see herdsman where they carry cow about 400 cows. I stop and say, Fulani herdsman. What do we do for you, sir? We go stop this waka with the waka up and down because I see him with his children, I see him with his wife. I seen the waka around, they go now and say the children with the waka follow them about, they are denied education. You understand? I can tell them, say, if we get ranch, we put you for there, put school for there, put hospital for there, put water for there. You know, go better for your business. He say prefer, but nobody discuss. Everybody just talk say Fulani herdsman a bad person. Government no get any agenda for them. The people they scandalize. They not say some of them not they bad, but he say not be all of them they bad. But nobody they even address the issues. He say the federal government don't get any conversation with any herdsman. Maybe they will get conversation with the political arm of the Fulani herdsman where they call Miyetti Allah. Some of those Miyetti Allah people, they make noise for radio or TV. They don't even get cow. This cow business is a $3 billion business.
But let's come in from here.
Yes.
Now, we know that there are different processes of governance. Now, you get the ward, from ward to local government, then from local government to state, and then from state to federal. Now, you don't decide to leave these other processes and then go for federal to run for the presidential race come 2019. I want to know how impactful you don't date to your community. You come from Ondo State.
That's right.
How the people of Ondo State don't feel your presence?
See, I never entered government before, but even at that, presence, to feel present, no mean say you must come, you must start from your village. When I start activism, not be 1993, the whole country know me as a young person. At that time, we didn't be Nigeria problem and a military rule and the annulment of the June 12 election. Now we stand behind Abiola. We no talk say, well, because we come from Ondo State, we must go stand with the councillor. We did not annul an election. It was a national problem. We stand with them. Now those students were there with me in those days, pro-democracy activists like Gani, Wole Soyinka, Femi Falana, Balarabe Musa, all of them around the country, we join hands together to solve a national problem. Nobody talks say now because I come from Ondo State, say, tear gas not enter my eye, or may police not beat me up, or may they not expel me from the university. So when you don't pass those levels, there's no reason for you to even reverse back. This one in 1993. 1993, that'll be almost 25 years ago with that. So, and progressively, I move on from national level, you know, as a student, come move into the media. Within 12 years where I do Sahara Reporters, it became internationally recognized media. Does it mean that I must go and set up Alawiye for Ondo State before you go recognize, say, I get brain to run in national media? No. Now the thinking where they limit how we see ourselves with that sometimes. Not be everybody need to operate from village. And sometimes your village feel your immediate impact, make the world they feel your immediate impact because the world don't become village self right now.
Now, as we talk, of course, the world will become global village.
Yes.
Now, we get some schools of thought we believe, say, right now we know, say, we don't see the emergence of a lot of young people like yourself. We don't decide, say, they want change the rhetoric inside this Akubodo, Nigeria. Yes. Now, we get you here, of course, sometime earlier, we don't get the likes of Professor Kingsley Mogalu, just where you've been, they sit down there. We also don't get the likes of Yes.
A lot of presidential aspirants.
No, young presidential aspirants here. Now, I said that the school of the school of thought we believe say rather than having just one of these societal changes to come rule us on top, why we not get a pool of such people changing the rhetoric, say maybe being among the lawmakers to change things where eventually go influence the top, whoever go there the top, or decisions where the top go there. How you take see this particular school of thought?
No, everybody now, they rise up where them they. Even for our party, for December, we won't go contest for local government for Ondo State. Because we believe, say, for us to change the country, we need to start changing. In fact, we even contest for Osun State, but I next say, because any new party when they register, they don't already close Osun State before we come in. So we encourage people. We get over 1,000 people who don't register with us, say they won't run for different offices across Nigeria. Some of them, they're abroad, they move back because we provide the platform for them. But if they talk, say, because we're young, we must start again that same conversation, say you must go and start from one small place. No, Nigeria get big problem. People will get big ideas, big thinkers. Now they must go face the problem at the top. And for those of us who don't get all this experience of getting involved with the political system, they engage them over the years, we get experience as to how the system they work. Those of us who don't do media, do activism, we don't go jail before. Those of us who don't get issues before, and those of us who don't get international exposure as well. See how things they work all over the world. It is our job to go for the best and the biggest job in the country. So because now the presidency, we feel influence things to change fast.
So talking about the influence things to change fast. Now, we know say one of your mandates now to end hunger. Now, looking at the statistics, about 112 million Nigerians now we get who are living below the poverty line. Now, every 1 minute, 6 Nigerians, they go poor. How you plan to change these statistics?
Now, to provide jobs.
How will these jobs be created?
Yeah, make they listen to me now. If you look at our agenda, what they call a Spicer hit. That is, say, our first priority now to secure the country, because without security, people don't even feel invest, people don't feel move around, people don't feel go farm, as we see with Husman, followed by power, electricity. One of the areas where we want grow job now to use solar energy, generate 4,500 megawatts of electricity. That one alone, to put the pieces together, will employ over 2 million young people. It may not even be young. Anybody will want to work for that sector for it, not because we get plenty of sunshine. And not be say I just make up the story. If you go Morocco, you go Tunisia, they don't already grow the electricity reach point where they don't begin sell to countries like Malta, France. Even Angela Merkel, when they come Abuja last week, talk am. Say with Nigeria, they look when they invest in renewable energy, solar. So now something where I don't talk for 6 months ago, that one alone. We want to employ over 200,000 teachers. We will go into every corner of this country, begin, revamp the educational system. We want to build over 17 million houses. That is the shortage we Nigeria get in terms of housing. China don't do them. So till now, there are over 64 million apartments where they empty for China. They call them ghost cities because they provided enough housing for people. So who go build them? Now all these people will go build them. Job go full everywhere because the investment go dead. Because before now, when they carry all the money where we get, go outside, they go steal them, go build houses for Dubai. We take time and develop other parts of the world instead of developing our own country. So several other plans there like that. We, as long as people get job, one person will get job in the way our culture is set up, go influence 10 more people. They help send them to school, help their grandmother, their mama, they will pay hospital bills, just like where Nigerians where they are abroad now become the Social Security Department of Nigeria, where they send money through Western Union to help. People will the thing will percolate over here, and that will end the hunger. I mentioned agriculture before. So we get plenty of acres of land where we need to grow and where we feed grow, where we go create food sufficiency and security for Nigeria. Where we say Nigeria go feed, they even sell food all the way to Senegal, from here go South Africa. The opportunities they're here.
But we know they make the investments. With the solutions where they talk, these solutions are not rocket science. Not be something where anybody needs to go to a special school. Exactly. There solutions where already they out there. But why you feel say we never fit accomplish, especially when it comes to food security? Why you feel say we never fit accomplish them for inside the country?
Because we they make mistake
What kinds of mistakes?
They elect people we know sabi what they do. That's the simple thing.
So you are technically saying, say, the current president as it is now, so you don't know what they do?
You know, I not beside they hide them. I talk to them every day, say the man don't know where. You know, sometimes I don't even think say the man know where he did. I go one meeting yesterday, or people we know as they operate, they say they work 4 hours per day. That's the most that the man can, because they're sick. And they tired. But they go package them, bring them back, because cabal, they there, we won't use them to fleece the country, and they don't want to be, they know say they're not going to win election. But they're using fake credibility, want to win election. The moment they win election again, they go back London. Our president, you don't know how many years, if you combine number of times we don't travel out of this country, out of 3 years, the man don't already spend about 6 or almost a year for hospital to go up and down. I mean, as we look at the man's pedigree, we say the man don't know what, you know, they read, you know, they deep, all these things they did. So why would they here to deceive ourselves? Say, we don't know what the problem be. Now, the same thing we don't do progressively. When military guys come, now they come take care of themselves. We get to civilian at the same time. Everybody just they take care of themselves, carry all the money within Nigeria, go buy houses, buy jets, you know. Whereas people we did for here were denied the opportunity where they're supposed to get. So until you elect capable leaders, we get character, we know they're greedy, you are not going to get it right.
All right, now just before you answer the question, you've been talking about exporting certain things. Like, say, if we grow so many things that we export, you talk about renewable energy, solar energy, say some countries they even export to other places. Now, recently, we've been seeing something we trend for social media, we mentioned, we done the spark of different responses, where you've been talking about the exportation of cannabis, Igbo, Indian hemp, and this did not spark up a lot of reaction from different places. We would like make you know, say something about that. We know, say, we get laws here now where they fight the sale, the use, the growth of cannabis and Indian hemp, but you be categorically come out and talk, say, people will come after you for waiting you talk.
Of course, I know.
But then, you say, will they grow enough cannabis where you feel export, where they feel used for medical reasons?
Yes,
tell us more about
medical research. Make I start by talking about cannabis as you know, as itself. You know, say there was a time where they do one research in Nigerians be the happiest people in the world, some of the happiest. You know the reason? Because we get one gene what they call feel-good gene. It's called cannabis gene. So Nigerians, by nature, we get cannabis inside our system. And this is not because I make them up, or this is research. We don't prove them. That's why we are happy people. Regardless of, as they beat us up, hunger, we're happy. Because the gene is inside our body. But most importantly, if you look at our environment, they grow cannabis everywhere. Most, like, you know, in Ondo, Edo, Delta area. And cannabis be $55 billion industry right now. The conversation where I want to make we get is say, before it's too late, maybe we get into the game, because other people they grow their cannabis, they improve them, you know, in such a way that in another 5 years, they're going to force us to import cannabis to the cure problems we get, where our own cannabis supposed to do the market all over the place. People, they think about cannabis from the point of, say, the one where you smoke, high, which is the HTC. No, that's just one part of cannabis. Cannabis is being used to make T-shirts. The oil is the best to grow your hair. It has several uses. In fact, it is known not to have side effects, but it has been criminalized and demonized through religion. Say cannabis, alcohol was past cannabis, but we they buy them now, we they import them. Cigarette is worse, but we still dey here, you know, legalize cigarette. But cannabis will help us improve even our economy, diversify economy. People know they talk about time. The United Kingdom get laws against cannabis now. But now they are the biggest exporter of cannabis. The US get laws against cannabis. But now Colorado, we don't change. Last year they made $1 billion in Colorado, just one state in the US, from selling cannabis. So mine is that, why don't we just forget about the hypocrisy? Let's put our cannabis in the market all over. The people, they talk, say, oh, if we legalize cannabis, people they go crazy on the street. It's not true. If you go to Holland, for Amsterdam, they have coffee, they call it coffee shop, but now cannabis where they sell for there, because cannabis get a lot of impact, medicinal impact. You know, they help to cure cancer. They help to cure a lot of things, anxiety. They calm people. As I did so, I never smoked can before, so that people go no say not be say because you know this guy they high. I've never tried it before. Maybe because me I they high already on ideas, so I don't feel add cannabis journal. But you see, we don't reach a point in this country and make you listen, there needs to be a next generation conversation that will leave old ideas behind. And one of it is to start discussing difficult topics in the country. Because the next generation, whether we like them or not, they have moved on beyond, but the leadership has not been able to catch up with them. I am proposing a leadership that can catch up with them, that can be part of the next economy, that can be part of the next technology, we go make our country fit work.
Now, all these ideas where they bring out now, ideas where some school of thought believe say they're fantastic. Now, another school of thought is bringing to concern the mindset where Nigerians get. Now, because of the mindset, that's why a lot of things are happening the way they happen. Because of mindset, we get stomach infrastructure. Because of mindset, certain good leaders where they're in certain position fit not work because some other people get certain mindset on how certain things will they work. Now, this mindset of a thing, how and where, at what level you fit impact the change where you feel say you fit impact. If you not only you, they be the leader, we get certain mindset and the other mindsets around you are different. How you go take influence the mindset of your fellow followers to implement that good result where you feel say you get.
Look, how you feel influence other people not to engage, not to interact, or put your ideas out there. That's why I love free speech, you know. Because sometimes day where we say you put them out there, people go push back. But because opportunity day to interact, they look at it. It's just like this cannabis conversation since yesterday. You don't see them from shock to real conversation. You could come the one that saying that everybody is smoking boo for this country. Because a lot of young people are saying, we've been waiting for this conversation to happen because regardless of whether it is legal or illegal, people, they're available. But I hate when I send DLA, they say that they burn cannabis farm. You understand? When you could be exporting the thing. I'm not even saying that we should legalize it at home, but let's have a processing process out there that can export the thing to the market where it is needed for medicinal purpose. Let's start from there. But as per the idea we talk about, we encourage other people. We are always encouraging other people. Say these ideas where we get to interact with them, challenge us. That's why I do town hall meetings in 28 states. No presidential aspirant. In fact, all of our colleagues with the young people, they don't fit do the kind of town hall meeting where we don't do all of them combined together. And not besides they take and boast for here. And when we go out there, we go ask people, ask us questions, make we answer. Where we don't feel answer, we go also borrow ideas from, because sometimes you get ideas where we say you never test them. Hypothesis where you never test. When that hypothesis reach market, they go refine them for you. You say we bring the idea, I can't discover the different angles there.
I like when you talk say engaging them is very important. Now, just very quickly, because time will be our friend, let's talk about something where Nigerians, they come outside talk, say it must be scrapped. Let's talk about the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Now, according to National Bureau of Statistics, they don't list the Nigerian police as the most corrupt for inside Webudo, Nigeria. Now, how you plan to reform the police force, and do you plan of scrapping SARS too?
Absolutely. I go scrap SARS the first day where I commenced inside office.
And your reason?
The reason is that SARS is useless.
How?
SARS is not a, fight crime. SARS is a victimization unit of the Nigerian police. Police is not supposed to victimize. Police not to fight crime, to detect crime, gather intelligence. Not be to the look at person. They don't, you see, not be, because me I dey young and I don't be activist. SARS not be new thing. When I did University of Lagos, SARS they among the police unit where they use against activists at that time. They don't carry me go SARS before. Everybody with the inside that cell for a catch there, they don't shoot them for leg. For night, they go pick people out, go kill. The moment they knock the door like this, everybody they pray, say make it not be them when they want. So they have been wasting people, innocent souls, inside SARS cell. This was 1998 when I go do Noga Games protests against military in those days. We find young people where we say, they replace them with person will be real armed robber. They come carry innocent person, they hold the place because if the Oga come, they don't tell the guys, now you go bear the name of this man. And the guy dare not say not be him. Now when we reach the place, the guy come, they cry from Surulere where they carry and come say, they just carry and replace person will be serious armed robber kickpin where they out there. So SARS not be crime fighting unit. SARS not criminal organization. I don't talk on before. And it's one of the things where we go scrap. Police no need to have victimization unit for it to be effective. SARS is one of the units will be I saw for police. It's
now speaking about security in addition to police, now this talking about the security of the nation, and what you go do differently to make sure say Boko Haram insurgency plus other insurgencies for inside the country will come down to the barest minimum. What realistic plan do you have that is going to be different from what we've already seen?
first thing I go do, all these commanders, I go fire them. You know, because all these generals where you see, they don't want to make the war end because they benefit from them.
How are they benefiting? Which proof you get?
It should be at the work for Sahara reporters. Don't make carry all the stories before they come. Before Buhari come they arrest all those generals for Air Force or Army. We don't want to carry stories. Say these guys they steal money. When Buhari come, where they don't find money for General House, inside cooking pot or inside Sokewe, you know, inside tank, GP tank, money there everywhere. Where do you think the money was from? They were stolen from money that was supposed to be used to buy weapons, equipment, and to pay for the welfare of soldiers. So as long as we get all these generals where they benefit with them for Abuja, with their big fast stomach, no one go war front. So
would they say that the soldiers now turn around, come become the Boko Haram people? Because we did talk about Boko Haram.
We know they fight Boko Haram the way we're supposed to fight Boko Haram because people don't want to make the war end. You don't hear about how much they negotiate with Boko Haram to collect people. So those Chibok girls, when they want to collect them, they say Boko Haram say may they release all of them. The people who go negotiate say no. We'll not release all of them like that too, because we need to make more money, make a hold up.
But the speaker, Lai Mohammed, will come outside and talk, there was no negotiation when it comes to the exchange of the Dachi girls.
But United Nations come talk and say plenty money exchange hands now because now UN will carry the money, go give Boko Haram. But that time when they say, when the reporter and say that she get the for Sahara reporters, now we first talk calm, say money exchange hand. Everybody they abuse us, say na lie, money no exchange hand, na conversation. You see the way Boko Haram take role inside Dapshi, come even bring the girls back. Come they address the parents, they may not send their children to school. You go no say something, they go on now.
So aside from sacking the top leaders for inside the military, which other actions?
No, equipment. You have to equip them, you have to train properly, you have to increase our ability to gather intelligence so that so many of the things where Boko Haram they do serve, they know if you carry them out before you get to them. We have to use technology. For example, the whole of Nigeria may not get drones. Understand? Two presidents don't come now, they commission the same drone. The same drone where Jonathan commissioned, that one where they for there. Now Buhari come, they just change the paint small. We don't get drone, we don't get technology, we don't get ability to dictate. Even me as I did here, I get 2 drones, civilian drones, where we say if you fly 4 kilometers, this thing. But I carry them come Nigeria, they seize them.
Thank you so much, sir. You come inside our house. Now, just quickly, the last question for me. You feel, sir, you will come out victorious come 2019? I
believe there's no doubt, sir. Except we don't want to win, I will not go defeat these people because they don't shoot themselves for leg. You know, as small doctor, they talk. Penalty, what's wrong?
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. We really quite an educative time we will get with you.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.